Welcome back, everybody, to BTH. Coming up next here, we've got a fantastic Chrono Trigger New Game Plus run from Silent Martyr. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. First off, just want to say I've been an enormous Linkin Park fan since the very beginning. This was like such an easy marathon for me to sign up for. Super happy to help do anything for support. Just really good cause. Just all the stars lined up. So super thankful and grateful to be able to showcase anything on this, let alone my favorite game and also my favorite speedrun. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it before we get started, because this is a lightning quick run. 8 minutes is a very high estimate. Like, I can probably get this done in under 7 if I do it right. This game and all the iterations of Chrono Trigger's speedrunning involve manipulation of the entire game, involving how long you sit in the load screen. So when I load up this save file, because again, this is New Game Plus, so we're going to be working off a completely curated save file that's got everything we need in the right spot right away. And it's just going to be Chrono and Marl. We're going to go right straight to Lavos and slap them around, and it's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that's pretty much everything that we need to know about right away. And I'll try to talk about the rest of the things as we go. If you have any interest in this speedrun, I'll talk about more about it at the end, but this is an absolutely beginner-friendly speedrun. Even the slowest run, 10 minutes, easily. So if you have any time at all free and you're thinking about getting into speedrunning, I genuinely recommend this game and this run specifically. But with that said, we're running the Japanese version, so this saves a little bit of time text-wise, but otherwise it's the exact same strats as it is in English. So if you have an English version of the game, you're not missing out on anything besides just less mashing. So let's get in. So I'm going to be sitting in this menu for roughly 16 beats of a... we use GIFs to animate the beats per minute, but the beats per minute that I'm going off of is 148 beats per minute. This is used to determine the amount of time exactly that I need to be in here. All right, wait. We don't need to do active. We like wait. It holds everything in the menu so that there's no advancement of the RNG while we're choosing things. This is essential in terms of how these runs work, because we are scripting this exactly. If I have the RNG correct, I'll be able to tell you all the damage numbers all the way through the run if I memorize them, but I don't need to do all that memorization. So you'll see the timer starts at minus 7.17 seconds. We actually don't start the timer until we get control of Chrono, unlike most speedruns where it's when you actually start the game. But the minus 717 is the exact amount of time it takes from Chrono's mom's last speech text, and it's an easier way to do it so that we can just start as soon as we get Chrono. So we're not going to do anything right away in terms of menuing. We're going to do that in a little bit, so we're just going to blow through the beginning. And we're going to try and mash through these names as quickly as possible. If I do it fast, then we'll actually get a black screen and it won't actually load the name. So, Blast by Luca, and then we're just going to go straight to Marl. We want to talk to her while Chrono's lying down, because it'll stop her in a more advantageous spot for us to get back down to the bottom floor of the fair. Oop, and I just missed her. That's fine. And then the same thing here. We're just going to try and mash through her name as fast as possible. Yeah, see, that's perfect. You don't even see it. That's what we want. So we're going to do an equipment, and then we're going to just run back up to Lavos. And then I'm going to try a candy skip. We're going to try and skip this animation here. Nice. Okay, perfect. A little slower than I'd like, but we're not going for world record here. It's fine. I'm going to talk about this in a second. So we're going to be trying to menu here. Yes. Okay. Battle speed 2, battle memory on are the options there. So we're going to start with doing a Luminaire here. And that 490 value means we are not on the RNG. That's okay. We have backups, so we won't be getting a world record pace on this run, but still going to be nice and quick. So we're going to follow this up with an Ice Sword 2. So what we did earlier, there's a floor trigger that, if you're familiar with the game, Marl wants to eat candy at the fair before you go to Luca's telepod. And if you time it right, you can actually sneak around that trigger, and it makes it so you don't actually trigger it. If we were playing a longer version of the run, we would actually trigger it coming back through the portal after we complete the 600 storyline where we save the queen and all that stuff. But since this is a New Game Plus run, we're going straight to Lavos. It's actually an enormous time save, and it's critical. That skip is critical for world record runs, because otherwise that's a huge time loss sitting there waiting for the candy. So now we're going to start with a Luminaire when he does his arm attack. If we're fast enough on RNG, we'll be able to get a second one off before his arm's individual attacks happen, but because we're off RNG here, I'm going to heal Marl with a simple aura attack so that she survives any attacks that happen in this next section. It also allows so I can just mash Luminaire quicker. All right, and we got through it anyways. Cool. 490 is the tough one. Sometimes we actually don't have enough time. Sometimes we do. That's why I like to heal there. It makes it so I don't have to, like, move into Chrono's menu. All right, so then we're going to get confused here. Well, we're not going to get confused, but that's the attack. And then we'll give Chrono a Hyper Ether. The equipment we have on. Didn't talk about that earlier. Marl only is wearing a Prism Helm. This is to prevent her status from being affected by any of the status effect spells. Chrono has on the Rainbow Sword, the Haste Helm, the Nova Armor, which also does status protection, and then Prism Specs, which does like a 1.5 or something like that boost to his attack. Now, normally here, we would have done an Ice 2 with Marl, but because this fight's damage is so tight, it actually is just barely not enough damage to kill Lavos there. So we would have to do a Chrono attack anyways. So instead of wasting the time doing the Ice 2 that I know is not going to kill this part of Lavos, we'll just switch over to Chrono, let him do a quick Rainbow crit, which at 70% is basically guaranteed. There's no backup where he doesn't crit there, so I know it's clean. Oh, I forgot to split, but that's okay. So, this last part is a little tricky to start. We want to use Chrono and attack the left bit with Confuse, and then Marl's going to attack the right bit, just direct attack. This is going to get the right bit to lower its defense a little bit faster than it would if you're just waiting for it. Nice. We're jumping in the menu there because it actually skips the load. The load is a lot quicker when we do it that way. So killing the left bit will instigate the right bit into lowering its defense so that then we can use Luminaire to just finish off this fight. It's going to first change the background to Millennial Fair, and then it's lowering its defense. We'll probably not be able to kill the center bit before it gets an attack off, but the attack it does in the Millennial Fair background is just a random status effect. So we're not going to, because we're both protected, it's not going to do anything, no big deal. Then we'll just give Chrono one more Hyper Ether, and then we're just going to do 3 more Luminaires here. and this should kill the bit. And by should, I mean would. The only thing is, it might revive the other 2 bits, but because the right bit is the actual final boss, it won't matter. The right bit dies, the other bits die as well. So there's no real time loss besides just the actual animation of them being defeated. Nice, we got it off anyways. All right. Time ends when the damage value hits its highest point of its peak. Bingo. Bango. Yeah, so we lose, whatever. We lost some time. That's okay. That's still a blazing fast run. Getting candy skip was obviously very helpful there. But that's it. Flashing lights warning for any of you who have epilepsy or anything similar. It's going to get flashy. But yeah, this
GG.
run is just super clean. Super clean. I love it so much. It's so fun. But yeah, thanks for the GGs.
It's short and sweet.
Yeah. Like I said, 8 minutes was 8 minutes is like a gross overestimate, and you're thinking 8 minutes. That's no. It for a first time runner, getting anywhere below 9 minutes is usually the good spot to aim for. You don't need candy skip to do that. And being on RNG isn't super important. That's the other great thing about this run. You don't need to be on the RNG to actually do it. Unlike the longer Chrono Trigger speedruns, where if you're off RNG at some of the later bosses, you're just resetting because there's no way to beat it. This is the start of the developer's ending. If you haven't seen this before, it's literally all the developers have a specific sprite and they have some funny little thing they talk about. It's really cute. This is in Japanese, so I'm not going to show you guys because that would be silly. I don't know Japanese. I won't be able to tell you what's going on. But this is the way to get that ending if you were ever curious. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I always like to shout out the speedrunning community for Chrono Trigger. We're a very close-knit, cool group of people who love showing new people the ropes. If you're interested in glitchless, whether you're running it on Super Nintendo or Steam, we've got plenty of people doing both. We're very welcoming, and we're always looking for new people to breathe new life into the community. So if you for any reason think oh, I can't do speedrunning, that's not for me, I promise you try this run out, you might catch the bug.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys again for having me, and yeah, donate. Woo!
Appreciate having you here. Coming up next, we have Crow Country by Death Tropes. Again, get those donations in.